Is Germany heading for the abyss? The coalition between CDU, CSU and SPD is about to be terminated, and that could be the beginning of the end for Germany's political stability, an event that shows how fragile the previous power alliances have become. The coalition, which was announced as large, is no longer able to act. It has failed, and while CDU, CSU and SPD continue to become entangled in the political swamp, the AfD is ready to take responsibility. Responsibility that this country urgently needs. The latest surveys from Insatz clearly show this. At 25%, the AfD is only just behind the CDU-CSU at 25.5%. But these are not just mere numbers. The AfD is growing at an alarming rate, and the voter potential is exploding. More than a third of Germans can imagine voting for the AfD, a record figure. This is a political earthquake. This number not only shows that the AfD is being taken seriously, but that Germany is choosing the AfD and at an astonishing speed. And this is only the beginning. What does that mean for the established parties? The old order no longer works. Politically, this is of enormous importance. Only a coalition of the Union and AfD would currently achieve a clear majority of 50.5%. All other coalition options are doomed to failure. The reality is clear. CDU and SPD can no longer remain in power without plunging the country into the abyss. But instead of acknowledging reality, CDU and SPD are sticking to the old politics, a politics that has long since ceased to offer a solution. The country is plunging further and further into uncertainty and chaos. The dissatisfaction of citizens with the Black-Red coalition has reached record levels. Only 25% of citizens are still satisfied with this government. 3/4 of the population are angry and disappointed with the promises that were never kept. The government has already forfeited its mandate. It wasted the opportunity to really change something before it had even really started working. And the problem will only get bigger if you continue to look away. It will not disappear. It will explode. This is where the AfD comes into play. We are not part of the problem. We are the solution that citizens are finally waiting for. The termination of the coalition agreement is not just a bureaucratic act, it is a symbol of the failure of the old politics. The old system of the Grand Coalition has finally failed. Without the AfD, a stable government majority is no longer possible. The time for ignorance is over. Anyone who continues to cling to the established parties is ignoring reality and endangering the stability of Germany. The AfD is the only way this country still has a future. All other solutions have failed. The coalition agreement was never more than an empty promise. From the beginning, it was a symbol of the failure of the major parties. CDU, CSU and SPD have desperately tried to hold together a coalition that had long since fallen apart. In terms of content and politics, this coalition was dead, and anyone who has not yet noticed should urgently wake up. Tax policy, citizens' income, energy prices and security. Everywhere there are gigantic discrepancies between the promised goals and the painful reality. The citizens are not stupid. They see that they have been betrayed by their politicians. And this is exactly where the AfD comes into play. We are not just a political alternative. We are the only real solution for what this country so urgently needs, with clear positions, pragmatic solutions and a realistic view of the problems that have plagued Germany for years, while CDU and SPD continue to sink into dispute. Let's move forward. We are acting now. The political change, of course, that we need is long overdue. In Mecklenburg-Vorpommern and Saxony-Anhalt, the AfD has clearly taken the lead in the state parliament surveys. Over 2/3 of Germans believe that the AfD will be represented in a state government after the upcoming state elections. This is not a trend, it is a clear political signal. The citizens expect us to finally take responsibility. Even parts of the FDP are beginning to question the old wall of rejection towards the AfD. Paul Bressel from Mecklenburg-Vorpommern has said it clearly, only a cooperation between CDU and AfD can save the party. Everything else leads to political insignificance. This is an unmistakable sign that the AfD is being recognized by more and more political forces as a realistic option for the future. The AfD is no longer just the party of the opposition. We are the party of the solution. We deliver concrete concepts that address exactly the problems that are driving the country into the abyss. Citizens' income, security, immigration policy, budget crisis. We speak the truth, while others lose themselves in endless discussions. AfD acts, others only talk. The economic situation exacerbates the urgency for a radical change, of course. GDP shrank by 0.3% in the second quarter. Industrial production remains below expectations, investments are stagnating, exports are falling. At the same time, there is a budget deficit of 172 billion euros for the years 2027 to 2028. Who is going to pay for that? The answer is simple. The working population will be asked to pay. While CDU and SPD continue to argue about tax increases and wealth taxes, the AfD is calling for clear austerity measures to get the country back on track without burdening the citizens. The AfD plan is simple: reforms, structure and responsibility. We are the party that takes this responsibility, while others only talk and stumble from one scandal to the next. The Grand Coalition has failed. The AfD is the only political force that is still able to stabilize this country and move it forward. The question remains, what happens if Germany continues to follow the wrong course? What if the established parties continue to ignore what is necessary to save the country? The answer lies in the upcoming decisions that could change the country forever. The AfD offers more than just empty promises. We offer solutions that people really need. While the CDU and SPD continue to wage their outdated ideological battles, we have concrete answers to the most pressing questions affecting Germany. Citizens' income, immigration, security, economic policy. We are not the party of excuses, we are the party of solutions. In Mecklenburg-Vorpommern and Saxony-Anhalt, the AfD is leading in the polls with alarming clarity. Over 39% in Saxony-Anhalt is a clear signal that the desire for change can no longer be ignored. CDU and SPD have long been left behind, and even the FDP hardly gets a word in edgewise. These are the numbers that cannot be lied about. The citizens want change and they want us to take responsibility. There is no longer any doubt. The AfD is not just a political option. We are the only party that is ready to take responsibility. While the established parties continue to become entangled in chaos, and while the AfD is growing, the union continues to lose ground. In current surveys, only 31% of citizens believe that the union will remain the strongest party after the next election. The surveys clearly show that the AfD is getting stronger and the established parties are losing. The economic situation is becoming increasingly bleak. GDP shrank by 0.3% in the second quarter, industrial production is below expectations, and exports are declining. National debt continues to grow, and no one in the Union or SPD has a solution that can seriously reassure the citizens. The AfD, on the other hand, offers clear, pragmatic measures to get Germany back on track without the constant tax increases and the continued debt. But the question remains, how much longer will Germany be able to endure the incompetence of its government? How much longer will the people remain silent while the politicians in Berlin continue to cling to their outdated systems? The answer is clear. Germany needs change and it needs it now. And here is the bitter truth. If the established parties continue to stick to their wrong decisions, the country will continue to plunge into crisis. The citizens will become increasingly disappointed. The future will become increasingly uncertain. But there is still hope. The AfD is ready to take responsibility. We are the party that makes clear decisions, that protects the country, reforms the welfare state, and implements real changes. The time for games is over. Germany can no longer wait. It is time for an AfD coalition that finally stabilizes the country, that protects the citizens, and has a clear vision for the future. The AfD is ready. The only question is, will Germany finally have the courage to make the right decision? In the midst of all the political struggles and promises, we must not forget that politics is not just about power, but about the people who are affected by the decisions. The future of Germany is at stake, and it is up to us to take responsibility for the next generation. Change is inevitable. The only question is, who is leading this change? We must have the courage to leave the old behind us and pave the way for a stable, secure future. Politics cannot continue to be based on wrong decisions and stubbornness. If the major parties do not meet the expectations of the citizens, change is inevitable. Listening to the opinion of the citizens, making the right decisions and acting in good time are crucial factors for the stability and progress of a country. If you think that Germany finally needs a change, then share this video, like it and subscribe to our channel. Let's start a new era together. This content reflects a personal point of view and serves as a constructive dialogue. All facts and figures have been researched with the greatest possible care to ensure that no misinformation is spread. It is crucial that all contributions comply with the YouTube community guidelines. Misinformation or violations of these guidelines may result in the video being removed. We ask viewers to remain respectful and responsible in their comments.